depends on the client's preferences.
So they put that in the chart too, like
Yes.
interracial, not interracial, and then you put them together in a pool. They're in different pools pretty much.
Yes. If they don't volunteer the information, I have to ask.
Oh, okay.
I have to ask, especially when it comes to, because I don't want to waste anybody's time. I certainly don't want to waste, matches of colors time, because they show up on the day and, no one wants to feel that, see their day come and then their face immediately falls, just because of this one thing that could have been avoided.
Are these blind dates, or are they seeing a picture beforehand?
Blind dates.
I'm sorry,
blind.
what?
Yeah.
You're showing up to a man on a date and you've never seen his face, not even in a picture.
Blind dates, honey. Yeah.
Okay, that changes the game. I would be nervous as hell.
And they are. But it's also kind of beautiful to see, because it just forces you to be more open to the experience. And so you can't Google them. You can't search Instagram or social media and make whatever judgments you're gonna make. You're just there for the ride.
That is scary.
I know.
That is scary. Just because, like, for example, me as a plus size woman, there are some guys who are really fat phobic and hate fat women. So if I show him on a date and he sees that I'm plus size and he doesn't like it or whatever, like, I mean, it's gonna be awkward for me. It's gonna be awkward for him. Like, how's that date gonna go? Like, do you ask guys preferences on these charts, like if they would date like bigger women or curvier women? Is any of that like on there?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yes, that's your matchmaker's job.
Okay.
To make sure you're going to have the most empowered experience possible. So if they're setting you up on dates with people who are fat phobic, hello,
they should have known beforehand.
That's the job. That's the job. Wow. So a lot of people will not be forthcoming about their preferences, but you have to be straightforward.
Have you ever matched a plus size woman with anybody?
Yes.
Have they come back with their experience there? Like, have they came back from a date and said, yeah, it was great, or like, no, I don't think this matchmaking is for me? Like,
both.
Both. Okay.
Both.
So you've had experience with like plus size women and straight size women, like that has there been any difference, or has it been like similar between both experiences?
Similar. The only thing that's different is, to your point before, is the intake interview process. The only thing that's different are my questions up front. Like, hey, have you dated plus size people in the past? Like, what do you find attractive? Tell me. And leaving it open-ended and, giving them room to answer. That way I can hear unless if they don't tell me anything specific, that's when I go in and say, hey, okay, like, are you willing to date a Black woman? Are you dating someone who is differently abled? Are you willing to date someone older? Are you willing to date someone plus sized? And it's all in service of the client, because, again, you do not want your client to show up feeling less than, because no one deserves that.
Yeah, for sure. So, like, what are these? I mean, what are some of the examples of what these guys are saying when they say I'm looking for a woman that, or I'm looking for a woman that is, like, how are they responding to you? Like, what are some of the clients or men that you've worked with? What are they saying that they're looking for in women?
Yeah. Once you get past the vague answers of, like, as long as they take care of themselves and, are healthy. Okay, that's basically code for someone who is skinny.
Yeah.
Like, let's just be real. Okay. It's like, they're like, oh, well, I don't want to sound like an athlete. I'm like, okay, but we have to do this. So you might as well just
don't waste my time.
Exactly.
Okay. You don't want all this lusciousness. Please don't waste my time.
Just be honest about it. Okay. Like, I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to make the best match possible. And I can't do that if you're not honest with me. So yeah, men will say, once you get past all of that, they're like, yeah, you'd be surprised. It's across the board. You just gotta ask the right questions. I've had men say, "Oh, I know what I can tell you." What really helped a lot is at first I was really shy about this because I felt kind of cringy, but I had this body chart. If we're talking specifically about physicality,
You had a body chart.
yeah, there's a body chart with different different bodies, shapes, and sizes, and I would show the client, not the clients, the matches, and I would be like, okay, so who are you dating right now on this chart? Like, what do you prefer on this chart? And they would tell me, oh, number 2 to 6 or 4 to 5.
Well, how big is it? How many bodies are on this chart? How big is this chart?
Yeah, it was like 4 at the top, 5 out of so 10, 2 rows of 5.
Oh, ooh,
Yeah.
Wow. So, oh my gosh. Okay, did you have that from the beginning, or you just like brought that in?
No,
So where
I
did you get
not
this
have
from?
it. I was talking to other matchmakers, and I would be like, okay, hey, how do you ask these questions? How do you, get the truth out of these people? And one of them, a friend of mine, she was like, I actually use the size chart. And I go, wait, what? That works? And she goes, yeah, I'll send it to you. And that's how I started using it.
Did that clarify things for you?
I mean, yeah, it definitely, and it also took the pressure off of them. They didn't have to fumble with the words
Yes.
or whatever. They'd be like, oh, okay, I see this, it clicks. This is what I want. This is what I gravitate towards.
That's amazing and like so interesting. Like I love that because like now you can just like literally because they're not seeing pictures, so like you're not seeing pictures. So this is like kind of a stick figure picture. That's great.
Yeah.
Wow. So like when you get past that awkward stage of like the sizing parts, like what attributes are they seeing that they want in women? Or do you go over that or no?
With anyone, I always say, well, tell me, what are you looking to invite into your life? What does your ideal relationship look like? What qualities in a person really vibe with who you are and how you carry yourself? And so, yeah, just really using that as a beacon.
Okay. And that, so like when you get past that, then it goes to the first date. Do you have follow-up meetings after every date, or is it a certain point where you're just like, okay, you're on your own now? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, after every date, we get a feedback form and, tells me, how they felt about the location, the type of date. Do you want to do something more casual next time or something more intimate next time?
You plan the date?
I plan the date.
Like what they do, where
Right.
they go, what?
And that's what I mean, the more technical things to the job versus just being the Cupid,
Wow, you're planning dates out here?
Yes, it's a lot.
So like how do you know where to take them, I guess?
Yeah. So at the beginning of the process, I always ask them, okay, what's a situation that is the least stressful for you? And, I'm like, okay, do you just like straight dinner dates or, casual lunches? Do you want to go for a walk in the park? If it's women clients, I'm a little more mindful of safety. Or queer clients, definitely more mindful of safety. So I try to keep it in public areas, public settings. But yeah, if someone is more adventurous, I'll schedule maybe, what's the thing? Axe throwing or whatever, activity-based date, especially for clients who have a lot of anxiety, something that they can focus on versus just sitting there and, feeling nervous and not able to show their true authentic selves because they are so nervous by the setting. Yeah. So it really just depends.
Can you give me 3 values that you look for in 2 people that that they're a potential good match?
Yeah. So believe it or not, religion is a huge factor.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah, it is a big one. So, if and that's tricky too, because sometimes people can believe that they're not as religious as they actually are.
What?
Meaning that they come from a certain family or upbringing where those traditions were steeped in more than they thought they were. So until they, go on a date with an atheist because they told me they don't care about religion. And they figure out, wait, no, this is actually more important to me than I thought it was.
I see.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
That's totally fine. That's all part of the process. And that's, again, going back to the journey of figuring things out for you and who you are and what actually matters to you.
I always tell people this, like on my like TikTok and Instagram, whatever, is that like when like if you are not used to dating and you don't know how to date and like you're not used to it, like these are things that you don't know until you start doing it.
Right.
Because before I started dating, I thought I knew what I wanted to. I thought I would be more open-minded and okay with certain things. And then I started dating and I was like, oh, dating is showing me what I don't want and what I can't tolerate and what doesn't work for me. So I need to like switch it up and like be more selective.
Yeah.
Because if we're talking long term, we're talking, white picket fence, like spouses, all that, like you got to live with this person. You got to like talk to this person every day. You got to sleep with this person. Like you don't want to be with someone who like you just don't have anything real in common with, anything like your values aren't like together, like because that's going to get to be too much. And then my biggest thing is like I want kids. So like if I'm sharing a child, sharing another life with you, like we're tied together forever because we have these kids together. I need to know that like we agree on parenting styles, we agree on discipline, we agree on like what we're going to teach our kids. Unfortunately, I'm a Christian. Like I want to raise my kids Christian. Oh, sorry, not unfortunately. I meant unfortunately for the atheist guys who try to date me. So yeah,
got it.
Unfortunately for the atheist guys who try to date me, it doesn't work. I've dated atheists before because I'm like, oh, like this is like like what's the, trying to be like, oh, it's casual, like let's see how it goes, and then we would end up fighting over like beliefs in God and stuff, and I'm just like, I can't. It feels like pulling teeth or like nails on a chalkboard when I talk about God, and he's like, oh, God isn't real. Like God is real. It's like it just doesn't work. Like that doesn't work because I'm just gonna get annoyed of you. Like it's so annoying. And then what do we tell the kids? I'm not telling my kids that God isn't real. He's totally real.
If it's meant to be, then it'll be a love song.